All right, let's check. Let me check the YouTube. Also, I have no idea how Twitter Spaces. Apparently, we're doing this to both Twitter Spaces and YouTube, but setting it up in StreamYard, and I've never done that in both before. So this is going to be an experiment to see if it works. So let me look on my on our Twitter feed if we're also on the live on the McFarlane Twitter feed. Fun times.
So we could ask questions as well to you guys, just to
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so ultimately the goal with this is just kind of for probably like 45 minutes to an hour, host a space, just kind of talk about I know, just kind of run through a tutorial, talk about our experience trying to get into the app, like using the app, talking with people about it. Yeah, just basically what the process is. I mean, the goal was kind of like basically, yeah, just tutorial how to use the experience. And then of course, like if there's Q&A, if people have questions in the chat, we'll ask those as well. So just kind of opening it up. So I guess probably the starting point, why don't we go around and introduce ourselves. I'm going to add more people are joining the stream. So we'll just go around. We'll introduce ourselves, kind of explain who we are. So it's basically McFarlane Toys Digital, mod team, dev team. Everybody's coming in. So I guess I can go first. I'm Trevor. I'm a product manager at McFarlane Toys. I run all the dev side of McFarlane Toys Digital. So actually making the app, making the content, all that kind of stuff. I lead the teams that do that. And yeah, I guess we'll go to that way across the screen. So Ryan, if you want to say hi to everybody. I don't know if you can hear me or if you can hear everybody in it now. If not, we can keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm Ryan, as you can see. So I'm one of the mods there, and I've been a collector of McFarlane toys basically since the beginning. So honored to be part of this team, and really excited for the future of this project for sure.
Hell yeah. So I guess Ryan is probably on the 15-second delay to hear it as it comes through the YouTube, which is not ideal. We will try to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, Rain Man, if you want to go.
Okay. I go by the name Rain Man. I'm actually a physical collector, like a bunch of people that just entered this community. Some of my favorite figure lines are Marvel Legends. I love McFarlane Toys. I love Soda Street Fighter, if any of you guys know that. What else? I'm also into Storm Collectibles, and I actually got into digital collectibles from Vivi initially, but I don't know. I think McFarlane Toys just satisfies that physical collector side in me because of all the detail and stuff, and that's why I got into it. I sold a bunch of my other digital collectibles just to get into this space. So yeah.
All right. Just going all in over here.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Cool. All right, going around Tekken Fingers. Sorry, Video Shane, we're going in the order people came to the meeting.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So hi, my name is Joel. I go by Tekken Fingers. And I came from digital collecting through BB initially a couple of years ago, and I've actually been physically collecting Beyblades, all types of different anime figures, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Saint Seiya, just a whole whack of mostly anime figures that I collect. And I found out about McFarlane Toys Digital, and also became a fan of the physical toys at the same time. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. it's pretty exciting, and really loving the physical aspect of it. And yeah.
Cool. All right, and video, Shane.
All right, everybody hear me good?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I've been collecting my whole life. Started off with comic books, and then moved into to toys, and so I actually have some of the early first releases of McFarlane Toys when they first came out, because I was a fan of McFarlane, back before Spawn even came out. So I got into digital just a couple of years ago. Mostly through VV, and then discovered this platform, and I'm loving it. The idea of having my entire collection with me in my pocket is really appealing to me, as opposed to having bins and bins of stuff that's in storage that I never get to look at. So digital's I'm very, very excited about this space.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk about it. And certainly you mentioned in your pocket. Obviously, our app is currently on Mac and PC. That is going to be expanding in the future. We are going to have a mobile app version of the experience on iOS and Android. So that's something that we've been talking about that'll be coming. But yeah, so I guess kind of wanted to start with talking a little bit about kind of how the app works, and just kind of so people who are interested in it, I guess I can kind of share the screen, kind of show it. So I know people are familiar with the McFarlane. This is probably one of the biggest questions we get is, where do we download it from? So I just want to make it clear, just so that there's no more confusion about this. Just very simple. If you're at the McFarlane Toys store, here, let me, how do we get to this? Yeah, there we go. So if you're at the McFarlane Toys store, it's the digital tab over here. Anytime we have so the downloads are right at the top. Anytime we have a new download available, it's available here, the download PC, download Mac, so you can get it for whichever platform you're on. And then we have all the information about it. Download from there, hop into the latest version of the app, which I will make sure I have right now before we go further. And then, I guess from there, once you have it, so basically, it does require you having your own, because the way our app is set up, have your own wallet connected to a digital wallet connected to the app. Everything you hold it, you have your own custody of those assets, and basically run it through basically download the app. You connect your wallet to the app, and you can then basically engage with those assets in the full 3D environment that we put. The idea is it's basically a gallery that you can create all of your own stuff with. So hopefully we can kind of run through a little bit of those processes and any details that or questions people have with them. And it looks like we had people dropped off, and it's now down to me, Tech and Fingers and Shane. I don't know what's happened here.
The team's getting smaller.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened.
May have been some connectivity issues.
Yeah. No, I know that Ryan was having issues earlier.
Yeah.
Basically just trying to get basically anyway. Here, let me share. So once you have the app installed and connected, basically this home screen of the experience, you could manage the different wallets you have connected over here, connect them to the app, and then basically you have different you can have your collectibles in here that you can see and look at, play around with them, bring them into the scene, the different creations, which are the different scenes that you can create, and then there's also any of your friends that you have over here. I know Holy Free Holy is one of our users who's always making new stuff. So like, he has all these different scenes that he's created, and basically you can just jump into those scenes and see what other people have created using their collections and their accessories, as well as create your own and share them with everybody else. And then, yeah, once you're in the environment, it's like a first person kind of, you play around almost like first person shooter controls. You can walk around, see what people have created. This was Holy for Holy's igloo, as he called it. So yeah, different environments that we can do here.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then yeah, here was his tribute to Spawn, which again, he was building this out of the accessories that we provided. So this is literally just a bunch of shelving units that he basically turned into the Spawn logo, which is again him just like playing around with different stuff in the room. And yeah, so and then of course, if you're like, I guess if you want to make something yourself, basically you get to choose one of the starting places. So actually I should back all the way. I'll make that clear. So this is like my home screen. If I want to make something new, I could go new creation in the bottom right, bottom left. Choose the space I want to start with. So I'm going to start with the daylight space. So that's the environment that I'm working with. And then once I'm in the space, there are basically two ways to navigate. So you can do, basically you can kind of there's like a no clip, like fly around camera control that basically allows you to move around the space as if you're working like, as if you're familiar with like working in Unity or working in Unreal. It's like or even a 3D modeling software. It's kind of the way you move the camera around those environments. So you basically just right click to hold and you can look around with your camera and then move with the WASD. Arrow keys also work to move around in this view. So it's basically, it just moves with the camera. You can also hit, and this is like a lesser known, if you hit R and F, which of course are next to WASD and stacked on the keyboard, it allows you to go up and down like that as well. And then once you have stuff, so basically I can go to like my collectibles that I have here. So this is anything that I have in my wallet. I can select anything. So this Dark Redeemer statue, and it'll basically drop it wherever I'm looking. I can also, while that asset is selected, I can right click, hold, and move, and it'll have this little icon that drops it in the room wherever I'm looking. So I can drop it there. And then wherever it is, I can also adjust the scale of it, make it bigger or smaller, rotate it, move it along the coordinate plane. So you can like be very precise with the movement. Of course, I can move it again with those tools, with the right click move tool. And yeah, that's kind of how you place assets in the room, designed to be as fast as possible to kind of place these as fast and painless. And then of course we also have like accessories. So if I want to create like a shelving space or something, I can add those to the creation as well. So in this case, and I can have multiple instances of the shelving. So this is like a glass case. Put it over here, scale it up, make it a little bigger. Put it in the wall there. Select my other figure in the room. Come on over. It's not letting me drop it in the case, drop it on top. And then we could drop it into the case, scale it a little bit, scale it down a little bit so it fits. But basically use these tools to build like a full collection and a full digital like collection that we can display, and that anybody who's comes to our showroom can look at it and kind of experience what we've created. So yeah, that's basically the gist of like creating in the space. Is it inside here? Is it through the glass?
I think it's inside there.
Let me move back just a chair. There we go. There you go. Perfectionist about it. There you go. So yeah. So yeah, that's like the basic idea of like you can place stuff in the room. It's just about getting used to the tools. The main thing is like when you're placing an asset is knowing that it's just going to appear right in front of wherever or generally in front of wherever you're looking. You can move it with one of the arrow keys. And then over here we have the move, rotate, and scale objects. You can also cycle between those. So move is the number 1 on your keyboard. Rotate is the hotkey for number 2, and scale, the hotkey is number 3, which makes it a little bit easier to control those. So I can like pop between them with just hitting 1, 2, and 3, and then use those to move things around. And of course, once something's selected, if I right click and hold, I can do it puts the target, and I can do the target movement as well, which is a little bit faster when you're trying to like generally place things in the room, and then you can like use those tools for like the fine tuning. Like if this asset's a little off the ground, I want to drop it just a little bit, I can do that. So now it's flush with the ground. I don't know if you guys had that's kind of where we are with the environment. I guess I'm not going to save this. Some other stuff, basically everything you collect and anything you're holding and whatever you build, and anytime you visit someone else's gallery or they visit yours, basically everything in the app is you earn experience points for, and we have a leaderboard that you can climb with that XP when it loads here. And then what we're going to have for different people, depending on how far up the leaderboard they get, there will be different rewards, and you'll be able to earn different access to different drops, access to exclusive drops, physical and digital, based off how far you climb up the leaderboard. So this is going to be something, and right now it's like really in the digital space. We're going to expand it to the physical space as well. Eventually the goal is that there will be this like connected physical and digital collecting with physical and digital rewards. So the idea that's like wholly integrated across the whole kind of system we have here. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I will go back to the team view here. I see we had some people come back. Welcome back. I know you all got
yeah, that was crazy. All of us lost connection at the same time.
That was weird. I don't know what's going on. You know what it is? Again, like I said, we were trying. I haven't even seen if there's a Twitter space running at the same time.
Right.
We're trying things on StreamYard. We're pushing it to its limits. I don't know.
Do you think we should talk about what NFTs actually are? Because so I think some of the people in the comments, they think we're ignoring them, but we're not. I think we should maybe talk about the pros of NFTs.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of negativity, out there as far as, moving into this digital space, which I totally get. It's a new thing, and sometimes that can be scary for people. My journey into digital honestly started with moving my movie collection digitally. If you can see behind me, all those on the shelves there are all DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks that I've collected, and I still love physical media. There's something special about somebody coming into your house and being able to walk into a room like this and look on the shelves and kind of get a flavor of who you are as a person just based on what you collect. But the advantages for me digitally, I can just sit on my couch and put in Apple TV, and all of a sudden my entire collection is right in front of me that I can scroll through really fast and start it up. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I put a DVD in to watch a physical disc, which is terrible because there's still some stuff out there that I can't get digitally. But that was, really what started to draw me into the world of digital. Plus, I have a large physical collection, and a lot of those are just sitting in bins. I have some stuff that's out on display, but a lot of it is just away. And, just having it digitally was appealing to me. Another thing for me, I have a large comic book collection, and I went through a process where I sold a fairly expensive book, and that process of selling that book took an entire year. I had the book signed by CGC, and then it had to get graded, and that entire process took 6 months. And then by the time I got it over to Heritage Auctions, they had wanted me to wait a few more months because they were doing a special auction just for books that were signed. And by the time I finally got a check from them, it was an entire year process. And when I discovered digital and, found out, there's a marketplace and I can buy something and then, sell it, and 5 minutes later there's money in my account, there's no shipping, and so there's just it's just a different way to do things. There's the world of digital, people are buying stuff digitally on games all the time, whether it's skins or cars or whatever. So it's just a different way to do things, and I totally understand when people come at it from a negative standpoint. It's just new things are scary, and I totally get that. But I just don't see this digital side of things going away. I think this is where things are going to go, especially with the Vision Pro that was just announced by Apple. When you're able to have a headset on and be able to see your peers and interact with them, in a virtual space, I think that's where things are going to go.
Yeah, I think.
Also,
sorry, go.
Sorry about that.
I've
I
already.
was going to say another aspect about NFTs that NFT collecting that I like is the community aspect.
Mhm.
So when there's new drops that are coming out, we could all get together and just feel that energy before that drop, and that hype before that drop. I think that doesn't really exist with physical collecting. I still collect physical toys for sure, but I think the future is with these digital collectibles. I also think another big aspect is the profitability. You could easily just buy an NFT and then flip it later if you land something good, or you can just keep it, because I think the McFarlane Toys, the NFTs, their details, they surpass almost any other project that I've seen, and I think this is just the beginning of it. And in the future, I think it's going to be a big project.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the community aspect. I mean, one thing, and on the Discord, everybody that's part of McFarlane Toys Digital is super positive and upbeat, and it's we should have a great time hanging out and talking to each other. And I don't know what else to say. You're not going to convince other people that are negative to the space, for sure.
The conviction is certainly an interesting. I mean, it's arguably the biggest challenge, and we get it. This is there. It's digital. You inherently lose that. I totally get losing that element of tangibility that comes with a physical figure. I get that, and also there's so much. There has been so much bullshit around NFTs kind of before we came to this space. To me, the way I've always described it is ultimately, if people feel like you're delivering value to them, they're going to be interested in what you're doing. And so we're looking at kind of where the space is and saying, okay, how can we push this forward and deliver way more value in the space than what's gone out. All of this stuff is, all of these figures that we put together are supposed to be basically almost like the digital twin to the physical, hitting that same quality bar that McFarlane Toys is known for, and hitting that same just that level of detail that you can put in, and also taking advantage of the affordances of being in a digital space. I'm going to present again, because someone even said they couldn't tell if it was if this was video pre-recorded or live. So this is actually live in the engine right now. I can prove it right
definitely
now.
Live.
Yeah. Shout out in the chat. Do they want to see which one they want to see? A Spawn figure, a clown figure, Redeemer, whichever one they want. I'll throw one in there and we can look at it. All these things are basically, I mean, the whole point is that you can drop these, you can have that physical collecting experience mirrored in the digital space and have the same kind of quality and have that same kind of collecting experience and that same social experience. And then there's the ability for us to go deeper with this experience because it's digital, and there's things you can do in that space. The fact that it's connected, the fact that it's online, it's social, the fact that it's easy to share across the world. I saw someone said Spawn.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Trevor. It's just a different way to do collecting. And, there's so many different things you can do digitally that you can't do within the physical world. The idea of, for those of you that are watching that are physical collectors, being able to, collect, say, the Spawn, Redeemer, and Clown, and then hold them for a certain period of time. And then you were rewarded with a different
Like a chase figure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's much harder to do in the physical world. So there's just different things that are opened up within the digital space.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about it. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and this is also a space that's evolving so quickly.
Yeah.
It's growing so fast, and
and really,
the
it's
technology behind it. Sorry.
Absolutely, and it's still brand new too.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I mean, you could see if you guys, everyone's taking a look at this, and the amount of detail behind this is, it's definitely the best I've seen by far from any project.
Yeah.
And Giorgio,
to answer questions as they answer questions that pop up in the chat, they're not posable yet, but it is something that we are planning on bringing to all of this in the future, and actually doing it in a way that's goes beyond just posable in our environment. We are like a big thing in this space is the idea of like interoperability, and I don't want to get too far down down that road, but what it basically means is, right now you have that like the ownership, it's in your wallet. The next big step is basically these 3D assets, these files are going to be exportable, so you can take them to whatever environment you want to be in. So they are, a lot of them are all rigged and posed into these positions. I mean, that's the only way you can even animate it. 3D animation requires rigging and posing figures. The idea when you have the 3D file and you can export it is you can take it into any environment, set up any poses you want, and then play with it also, not just in our own environment, but in any kind of 3D environment to build in. The assets, actually, that's an interesting question about printing the files. These are not STL files. They are, sorry, I'm going deep into this now. Usually the files that you put in a 3D printer are a different type of file. But when we do the 3D export, if you convert them, I feel like you should be able to print them. So that kind of stuff, like there's things like that that could be possible with these files in the future. Again, that's the other thing that's kind of cool about digital is like we can continue to add more and add more value to them beyond the original thing. So Lovebox asks, can you put them in Blender and ZBrush? So the answer is when we have the export feature, which is something that we're going to be talking about more in the coming weeks, you'll be able to take them into, we have a whole list of like day one, the different kinds of platforms and programs and what have you that you could bring them into. So you could totally bring it into Blender or ZBrush or what have you. Yeah,
I think that's the most important thing to remember too, is how early we are in this brand new space. I mean, things are, developing, and there's the possibilities are endless of what you could do with it. I could just see, being able to have a Vision Pro headset on, and I've got my monitors spread apart, and also on my desk is, my digital spawn just, sitting there flapping his cape, all that stuff is right around the corner. Yeah. And also another thing, another user pointed out was like, if you, because like the idea of like collecting and having more space, like right now, like McFarlane, we sell toys, we don't sell real estate. Like the good thing about the digital space is it's functionally infinite. Like you can always have more room, throw another showroom, throw another environment in there that you can collect in and continue to expand your collection. And that's something that we're really excited to be able to like that's something that is just like another, just like it takes a little while to get there because you need more as we start rolling out more content and more drops, will start becoming more obvious. But just the use case of I never run out of collecting space, I think is another one of those things that physical collectors deal with, that this just cuts right through. Yeah. And of course, that collection, you can't bring it with you. It just sits in your house. Exactly. Yeah. The idea of being able to share your showroom, with your stuff to other people, in the community is that's a really fun aspect of this style of collecting for sure. Yeah. I mean, right now, you have to have somebody come over to your house or, take photos of stuff and bring it with you. Exactly. Now you don't even have to take anybody who has the platform can basically jump in and see their friend's collection and
and basically go look at it, tour it, and eventually we want to start building it like even kind of synchronous multiplayer kind of tools where you could even start collecting together and like build share collections and that kind of thing. But that's down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a Redeemer figure.
Yeah, I mean that's I can't remember if it was Tekken or Rain Man that mentioned the detail on these figures is just off the charts compared to other
Oh,
platforms.
I love
for
it.
sure.
Yeah,
You can get right on top of them for sure. I mean,
And a guy in the chat, Giorgio Arcade, I think he's getting it. It's just another way to own your favorite toys in a different way. It doesn't have to be physical.
Yeah,
it's just another way of owning it. I think
yeah.
I mean, one of those examples is I'm a gamer. I pay for games. I own them, and I pay for DLC content.
Exactly.
Or whatever it may be, armor pieces or weapon packs or just coins, so you can buy and unlock whatever you'd like to get within the game and use it. Right. This is way different. This is actually a licensed product, a digital premium collectible that you own. And,
yeah, it's like having a skin in a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you actually own it.
Exactly.
You have it in your wallet. That's the big difference.
And you can take it anywhere. Anybody can see it across the globe. And if so they wish to, make trades with somebody across the world, then you can easily do it within seconds. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's just the possibilities are just endless. And I think this is just where collecting is heading in general. I still collect physically. I love it. I love my physical collectibles, no doubt. But I've run out of space. I have no more room to place anything in anywhere. So
yeah, I'm right there with you.
All right, this figure is a little big for this. Sorry, I'm just building away here. This figure is a little big at the full size for inside the glass here, but there we go. Now you got a clown in the glass.
Yeah, I think just back to the negativity in the space. In my opinion, a lot of that probably came from the early NFT projects that weren't IP related. I think we're in a different era right now where you actually have IP that and have fell in love with when you were younger. Spawn, obviously, if you grew up with those comics and collecting those toys, that's an IP that you understand. There's IP on that are part of the the old school NFT type of artwork. I don't know what those bring to as far as value, but stuff that you grew up with, that it's important to you.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm interested in it.
Yeah. And it's also I mean, for me, the way I think NFTs are like just the tech that enables a lot of the ownership and then we build a lot of stuff on top of it. It's really a shame that there was so much for years, just so much trash and frankly, so many scams put out into the space.
Yeah.
Because it just really gives it a bad, I get it, that why it has for people who aren't in the space, it has such a bad reputation. But this is something, we think the way to break through that is just by creating something where people can hopefully start slowly but surely see the quality of the figures, the value that hopefully they deliver, and kind of see that the platform and what you can do with them is consistently expanding, and we're constantly trying to add new value and more value to stuff that's out there. That's a big part of what we're at least my hope for what we're building here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like the two worlds can't live together. I mean, I think they support one another.
Yeah, physical is not going away.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with what you said earlier as far as a digital mirror. When that was, for those that weren't familiar with when McFarlane Toys Digital launched, it was, what was it, November or October of last year. So it's still relatively brand new. And you bought a physical of each of these figures, and then you got the digital. Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can add Ryan back again.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, that's good. I can hear you too.
With no tape delay this time.
I know. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is like, I guess, continuing the tutorial a little bit here. I kind of showed off placing my figures in the scene. At this point now, I can, if I'm happy with my kind of ridiculous little room here, I can publish it. So now that what I've created is saved and stored in my profile, I can also you can take screenshots and it'll save those and post it directly to Twitter. So we have so you have different places where you can go save and share and socialize with those. So now, that should be in my, so here is my latest Daylight Penthouse that I created. We can see some other ones that people have, it's fun to look at these. The Daylight showroom that we put out is the newer one, so we're starting to see some fun creations coming out of it. Bubble dragons. Jeez. Anywho, all right, cool.
Hey Trevor, can you jump back into that one you were just in?
Yeah.
Might be interesting. Just another thing to talk about real quick. I noticed that particular one had one of the POAPs on the wall.
Oh yeah.
Just a real brief, might be interesting for people to know what that POAP is and how those are acquired.
Yeah. So basically, this wall art piece is another collectible that we gave away for free. So basically, every once in a while, we've been doing different events, different spaces. People might have seen other live streams where we did the toast and roast spaces, looking at both physical and digital collections, and kind of giving our feedback on it. And for doing those events, part of it we've been commemorating those with different giveaway collectibles that you can display in your showroom. That type of NFT people call a POAP, which stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, which is an overly techno-babbly way of saying it's basically a party favor for joining our spaces. Yeah. So we've done 2 of them so far with different cool custom art around McFarlane Toys Digital. And we are going to keep doing things like that in the future, which is kind of fun because it's if as a way to get into the app and start playing around with it, it gives you a first piece to start playing around with. And that's what's fun and exciting, what we like about doing those. So yeah, there's this one. And then there's I think, what was the other one? I think it was a Spawn one. Yeah, it was this one of the Spawn figures.
Yeah, I like how they got that one inside of a frame on the wall. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely, the other aspect that you had shown before real quick was the leaderboard, just, seeing where your placement is on the leaderboard, seeing how your collection's going compared to other people, especially if you end up making friends that are, part of the community. That's always fun competition. Yeah, and as you can see in these different drops, some of them are animated, some of them are still.
Yeah, so we have static and dynamic animated ones.
Yeah, there's a wide variety of things.
And the XP points, they can be used later for other things, right? For whitelisting and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Early access to other drops for sure.
Yeah, and that's part of the larger goals with like XP and gamification. You'll see everybody over here has an XP amount next to their name. These are just friends, people I've added from the community. And basically, so you can kind of see where people are stacking up, where they are on the leaderboard. And then there will be rewards and stuff associated with all of those. Here's one of Video Shane. And one of his, we'll see how, we'll go judge his showroom real quick.
Oh, don't judge mine. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. Well, maybe a little bit of time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Couple of people inside glass cases. couple of my animated dragons.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, your anime figures in front. Let's see if
Yeah.
we got anything downstairs.
No, I didn't go. I didn't.
No,
go
nobody. No downstairs.
I need to do that. I need to add some more stuff downstairs for sure. Now, one thing I wanted to ask while we're on here is I've seen some people put stuff on the outside and on the outside balcony.
Yeah.
I can figure out how to open up the door. How do you open
You
up?
can't actually walk out there. You have to you just no clip it through the wall.
Oh, you just push it through the glass. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they got out there. Interesting.
So will there be other environments?
Yeah, there's gonna be expansions to the current environment, and the plan is to do other environments in the future. So it's like, and part of that other environment is looking at, are they going to be more like just collecting spaces, or will they even be like IP based or like themed to specific different IPs? So that's something we're playing around with.
Oh, like from the Spawn universe, or
and like one user is asking, is it so? Yeah, right now it is Mac and PC. We are coming to we're working on a mobile app version of this as well, so it'll be on iOS and Android as well in the future.
Hey, Trevor, are you guys also working on AR capability for it as well for the mobile app?
So when we have we didn't do AR on Mac and PC because that's like weird to do out of a webcam.
Right.
But yeah, when we have the mobile apps, we're planning on having AR capability as well, so be able to drop them into real world. We're also playing around. We've started experimenting with there's some really cool. I mean, people are familiar with it, honestly, from like things like Pokemon Go, but like the whole like geospatial AR and like actually having like with respect to where they are in the real world.
Right. That's cool.
That's another thing that we're playing around with, which we think is like a whole nother way of like showing off your collection, because you could like put your physical collection lives safely in your house, but you can put your digital collection on your lawn and no one's going to steal it because it's digital.
Right.
So there's like an element to that could be pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finding the GeoAR kind of angle. So stuff again, that's stuff that's like in development, and like no promises like there on like all those features and what have you. But yeah, that's another thing that we're working on.
So Trevor, do you lead the development team? Is that under your?
Yeah. I lead on the digital side. So it's like I basically so then we have the physical. There's the whole team on the honestly the much larger physical toy manufacturing, collecting, licensing, working with retailer side of it, and then we're like still a small piece of that larger organization right now. But yeah, we're hoping this is going to continue to expand. We have a ton of drops planned and tons of new like licensors and IPs and stuff. So it's like, yeah, we're excited for this to expand in the next coming weeks and months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think once you dive in and you get involved in this digital space, there's a lot of players that are part of it that are doing some really cool stuff, and it's just fun to see how everything's progressing for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Does anybody have any questions in the comments?
Yeah, I've been trying to follow the chat. It seems like a couple questions here and all. Hopefully, let me scroll back up and see if there's any that we missed. Oh, people are asking for specific figures. Like, when is this coming? When is that coming? We're not going to do the speculation game.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible in the future that XP can be used as some form of currency, so we could use it to, buy certain things? Or
it's an interesting idea. Like we've talked about doing that. I mean, if you're talking about it, like, can it be redeemed for like collect physical or digital collectibles and stuff? Yeah, it's something that we've been talking about, and something. Yeah, I think it's something we're looking into. It's figuring out what's the best way to do it, especially considering there's some other like initiatives at the company, like in terms of like getting there with different things. Like, so the question is, how do we do it across physical? A lot of this is how do you do it across physical and digital and integrate everything? Because I think once as these two, right now the systems like the physical collecting, going to the McFarlane Toys store or to retail, like that's kind of like one system, one ecosystem in which you engage. Then there's digital, and the goal is to like connect them together more. So we're starting to build a lot of those hooks where you can like, if you're buying physical, you're getting rewarded physical and digital. If you're buying digital, you could get rewards on both spots. So we're really trying to make sure that those connections exist. And yes, the idea is that like, again, person was asking about the app again. Yes, when we have a mobile app, you'll be able to view the collection on the go. But yeah, so that's like one of the things we're really trying to connect across both ecosystems.
And what about making things as someone had mentioned in the chat with the figures being posable in the app? Is that something in the future?
Yeah, that's another thing that we are planning on doing in the future. And the fastest way to get there is we're going to be having like interoperability features and tech that allow you to hopefully bring this stuff over to that will allow you to bring this stuff into other like if you're familiar with Blender, for example, or Maya or something, and you want to play with these assets, we want to make them available to you over there. So that's something that we have ways that we're going to accomplish that in the future. And again, we'll be talking about that all very soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. I think it's 5:40. It's about 5:50. I know there's another space that's about to go on. I don't want to overlap with that. So I'm going to let's wrap this up right now. I guess really quickly, go around the horn again, just super quickly. Introduce yourselves and or say goodbye to the fam, anybody who came in to listen to us. I'm Trevor. I'm the product manager on McFarlane Toys Digital. Video Shane, you get to go.
All right, I'm Video Shane, I'm one of the mods, and yeah, thanks for letting me come on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Tech and Fingers. I'm also one of the mods, and yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming by and taking the time to listen to us and ask questions.
Yeah, and I'm Ryan, again, one of the mods, and yeah, thanks for coming here. I'm happy to be part of this, and of course, come to our Discord, and of course, if you have any questions, we'll of course help you out there for sure too.
Yeah, I go by the name Rainman. I'm also a mod on the Discord. Hope you guys come on the Discord, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, we'd love to have you all join us, learn more about it, and yeah, excited to talk to everybody in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.